We do, of course, Rick, every week get thousands of emails. I mean, it's Freddie from Winchester says, of course, it was recently Valentine's Day. What's the most romantic thing that you've done for Suzanne, Carl, that you can think of?
I don't really do all that.
Sure. The Valentine's Day stuff.
It's just... The problem is, if you do it once, they expect it every year.
Yeah. Sure.
That's the problem with Christmas and stuff, innit? It's like, it's become, that's what you do now, every year.
Every day, yeah.
So I prefer to just sort of wait, you know what I mean? And you know, if I think of an idea or I know of something that she wants, I might get her something, but I might not do it on Valentine's Day. It's that thing. It's like how I've said about Pancake Tuesday. Make it Pancake Wednesday. Have it when you want. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting for someone to tell me when I can have a pancake? I'll have it today if I want one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas Pancake Tuesday, no, I won't bother. I'll have trifle. So it's the same with this, you know, with Suzanne. Luckily, right? I mean, Valentine's Day and what have you, she was ill.
Luckily.
So we didn't have to go out. So I'd say, is he asking for advice?
Well, I suppose, yeah, certainly you may as well give it.
Treat them when they deserve it.
All right.
I remember once when Suzanne was ill, she had a fever, but there was no food in the house. What did you suggest to her? She was too ill.
Well, it was when we were still living in Manchester and that, and you know, we needed to get some food in for tea and stuff. And I said, come to the supermarket. She was like, no, I'm ill, you go. And I hate buying food. I just sort of get a bit blank when I'm looking at it. There's too much, isn't there? That's the problem. You go down all these aisles and there's just too much. So anyway, I said, no, come with me. She was like, oh, but I've got this fever, I'm hot and everything. So I said, well, come to the supermarket, you go on the frozen aisle, cool yourself down. And she did, and she said, you know, it made it worse, she was ill for another 3 days.
How would you go about chatting up a woman in a bar? What tips could you give?
I've never worked like that. It's always been like a friend of a friend and all that, and just happened to meet them. And then, you know, you have a chat, and then...
How did you meet Suzanne?
That was when I was working with her, and she gave me 20p for the hot chocolate machine. She never asked for it back. Thought she's all right. Been there sort of 11 years, so it works.
Has she ever given you that? You've never given that 20p
never
back?
asked for it back.
Did you return the favour, perhaps on the next date? You buy her a Kit Kat or something?
No, I don't think I did. I think word got out that she liked me and that. And what did I do? I think I did some work for her, did some editing for her, to sort of show off my skills and that.
Sure.
And she was like, oh, you're good at this, aren't you? I was like, yeah. And I think she got us another drink because I was doing that editing for her in my own time.
So you're up on the deal, aren't you? Because I know now, I know for a fact that you've not spent any money on her in 11 years, so you're 40p up.
At least. Lawrence from New York says, I was wondering how Mr. K. Pilkington would interpret this famous saying of philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. The quote is, if a lion could talk, we could not understand him.
Even if he's English?
Yeah, if a lion could speak English, so there's no language barrier, he's speaking English words and using all the correct grammar and everything, but you wouldn't be able to understand what he was saying.
Why?
Because it is from a different world. His frames of reference would be so bizarre that you wouldn't be able to get a grasp on what he was talking about, because you'd have so little in common, even if he used real words.
No, but he's talking English.
Yeah, no, but his reference points would be just so far removed. You know, they're removed slightly when, if you saw two people talking about Kierkegaard, you'd
I wouldn't understand it.
Exactly. So remove that 1 billion times to a different species with different input.
No, but it depends. If I'm talking to a lion in London Zoo...
Yeah.
He'll be saying, oh, I'm fed up of being stuck in here. I'll go, yeah. It's like that. It depends what his background is. I mean, there's some people who might have lived down the road from me, but have a totally different life.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter that it's a lion, does it?
Well, yeah, because they're just trying to remove it even more. So now it's not just a bloke who lived a few doors away. Now it's not even a bloke. Now it's not even...
Yeah, but I'd pick something smaller, or something, you know, a worm without a mouth. I'd go, definitely not.
What? Definitely not what?
I wouldn't be having a chat with it. I just think that a worm that's underground, what's it got to offer me? It's blind and it hasn't got a mouth. It's not going to be a good day out with it, is what I'm saying. It's not going to have that much to say to me, even if it's English. Right?
Even if it's
And how can you tell if a worm is English? Does it wear a very tiny bowler hat?
Oh, Christ.
But do you understand?
What about a jellyfish?
No, you see, I think that's where you can say you wouldn't be able to have a good chat with them, because to me, the sea might as well be another world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In a way, I think the fish sort of have more rights than us,
What do you mean?
just because when whoever made the world, right?
Yeah.
Say, you know, we're just bigging up God, but if
Yeah.
I was to have a go at him,
Yeah.
I'd say you added too much water,
Criticism 1 to God, right?
right? So
How would you have changed that? Just
more land.
Fair enough. Now, why have fish got more rights than us? That was what I was interested in.
Because there's loads of them, and when you look at the amount of sea on the world, right? There's loads of that. You only have to like you know, I was in Malaga the other week, right? And you know, you look in the sea, there's loads of different fish, and that's just in like 8-foot water. If you go miles out, there's like all sorts of weird fish, isn't there, with like lights on them and everything. So, and there's just millions of different types.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But why does that mean they've got more rights than us?
just because I think, you know, rights come in numbers, don't they? If you know what I mean. Like, if there's one of you shouting, people go, oh, he's an idiot, shut up, whatever. If there's loads of you shouting, they go, oh, best listen to them, see what they've got to say.
Right.
And that's what I mean about fish.
Yeah.
There's loads of fish,
Right.
so
But they're not really making their voices heard, though, are they, Carl?
Yeah.
I know, because they're underwater. But what I mean is, I don't know what I mean.
Carl, right? What do you think it's like being a crab? If you could go now, your mind into a crab, what would you see? Where would you be? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What do you think of all the other things the crabs you'd see, the squids you'd see? What's it like, do you think? I want you to. It's like creative writing. Just think. Just let yourself go. Come on.
It's got to be a crab.
What do you think of a slug? What do you think to be a slug? What would you do if you were transported now into a slug? What would you do? And Suzanne, you're suddenly in the kitchen, but you're a slug, and Suzanne's sort of like there, just making tea and that. How do you let her know it's you?
It's impossible. I'd just chuck myself into the salt pot or something. No, because what do you do? I'd hate that. That would be horrible, that.
Oh God!
Have you ever read Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis,
Don't
in which
think
a
so.
man wakes up and he's turned into a giant beetle, and that's the whole story. I think it might be of interest to you.
So what happened to him with the beetle?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you in case you read
No,
it.
I
but
won't be
it's,
reading it, don't worry.
He joined a pop group with 3 other people. He was brilliant.
No, it's a really wonderful book. It's a kind of almost heartbreaking because, of course, he does, like Ricky's saying, he finds it very hard then to relate to other people, even though he still has the consciousness of a human. You know, his parents, his rest of his family, they don't know how to deal with him, you know, because he's a giant beetle. He becomes a freak, he becomes an outsider. It's terrible, you know.
But hang on, though. Is he a giant beetle? Or
Yeah.
is it... Well, yeah, well, that's not going to go down well, is it? That, of course, people aren't going to like you. But if it's a normal-sized one, then you just get in with the other beetles, don't you? Whereas if you're
But
a
you'd be
giant...
sort of
How would you do that? How would you ingratiate yourself? Right, so you're suddenly a beetle. You're Karl Pilkington, right? There's other people. They're doing their business. They're scuttling around, and you go in there, and they look at you as a new beetle. What's your first? What do you do? How do you ingratiate yourself?
Well, for a bit, I wouldn't sort of barge into their house and that. I'd wait until they're out and about, and I'd like in life, right? Sort of help them out. I don't know what beetles do all day. I've never seen one doing anything. They just seem to be going from one place to another.
Right.
I've never seen them carrying anything. I don't know what they eat. I don't know what they do. I don't know how we've got them, right? But what I mean is, I'd watch them and I'd sort of help them out. And I mean, you know, it's like going on a date or meeting a woman, isn't it?
But what if there is?
Whoa, hang on, what do you mean? How is it like going on a date with a woman?
Well, it's like I said about Suzanne with her hot chocolate. She bought me that and I've gone, she's all right.
Right.
She gets me another one. Before I know it, she's living with me.